Hi, welcome to Finance PK. My name is Phil. The goal of this channel is to help you beginning investors get started, especially if you're in high school or college. If you're getting started working, starting to make some money, and you want to get started investing, you're just not sure how, not sure if you're confident enough to take those first few steps. This channel's for you to give you those confidence to take those first few steps towards successful investing. This channel is also for you if you're a little bit older. So maybe you're in your 30s or 40s, like me, even older, and you wish you would have got started younger. In that case, this channel is also for you. I want to help you get started, build that confidence to get started investing. In some previous videos, I talked about taking those first few steps, making goals, establishing an emergency fund, and then I talked a little bit about the Roth IRA. And in this video, I want to jump into the Roth IRA a little bit more in depth and talk about the 3 next steps to be successful with your Roth IRA. Now, the first step, and I talked about this previously, I'm going to reiterate this, you want to automate the amount. And so with a Roth IRA, you can contribute in 2025 at the time of filming, 2025 right now, the contribution limit is $7,000 if you're under the age of 50. So that equates to about $580 or so a month. And so you want to get up to that amount eventually as quickly as you can, ideally, but that's the contribution maximum. That's what you can max out with that amount. And I'll go into depth a little bit more in another video about specific dates and a way to maximize dates. But if you can get to that amount, $580 a month, a little bit more than $580, that's going to equal out to about $7,000 a year. That's the contribution maximum. You want to get to that amount as soon as you can. And then if you're over the age of 50, you have it's called a catch-up contribution up to $8,000. So it's about $660, a little bit more than that per month. And so when you can get up to that amount, you're maxing out your contributions. And that's ideally where you want to get once you've taken those first few steps. You want to automate your amount so that you're contributing that maximum and you're maximizing those gains. Why do you want to do that? Because you want to let compound interest do its work. And that's the second point of this video. I want to talk about compound interest, and I talked about that previously as well. Basically, you're just letting that compounding happen over time. So if you have a compound interest rate, and I'm going to talk about in the third point in another video as well, I'm going to talk about some specific investments that you can make to let that compounding occur at a rate of at least 10% or more, which is what the S&P 500 has averaged for over about at least the last 80 years. If you can get to that 10% amount and you're contributing that maximum, 570 or 660, that compound interest, you're basically just sitting back and letting compounding do its work. And that amount is going to double approximately every 5 to 7 years. But the shortest version is if you can start that contributing $580 a month or contributing $660 a month, that's going to turn into $1 million over a period of time, approximately between 20 and 30 years, depending on the exact compounding rate and depending on the amount that you're contributing. Now, the third point I want to talk about in this video, and I'll go into depth in the future video and look at the links below, that third point is specific investments. So I mentioned the S&P 500 fund. There's several stocks that you've heard of, and I'll go into depth in a future video. Apple, Costco, Berkshire Hathaway, you may have heard of some of those, and different funds like VOO and different funds that I'll talk about that are making more than 10%. And so you can reach that $1 million point and double your growth more quickly with those funds. And I'll go into depth on that in the next video. We'll see you next time. Thanks.